I freaking love everyone that's been tweeting me and tumbling me about where this review has been. I apologize that it's late. I'm just gonna say, a tip for young players, don't drink. You look like an idiot when you do, and then you just feel like shit the next day. So that's my message. Alright, enough of what I got up to this weekend. Let's get on to my review on the 100 Season 3, Episode 5. Woo, woo, woo! So the first episode that the screeners were not out for, there were no leaks on this episode, I believe. And we start off the episode with Clark and Lexa. Holy moly. They're so cute, man. They're feeling like real relaxed with each other. They're feeling at ease with each other. They even freaking smiled like multiple times at each other. There were a little bit of flirtiness between them, like weird flirtiness, talking about their people still. I don't know when they will stop talking about their people, but there was some flirtiness in there. But yeah, it was so cute to see them so at ease with each other. It's not gonna last long, but it was very cute nonetheless. Start the episode with that. It was great. And the next scene, this is where shit gets real. Pike, Bellamy, and some of the other peeps from the farm station return back to Arcadia with blood all over themselves. None of them have been injured though, so the blood is definitely not theirs. This episode and this scene and the scenes following it, I just felt so disgusted. It was like I felt sick to my stomach realizing what they had actually done. They'd gone out behind this army that was there to protect them. Their backs were faced to them because they were looking for the enemy that was supposed to be coming at them, not behind them. They literally sneak up behind this army and murder 300 people. 300 people for absolutely no reason whatsoever. It's so disgusting. Like, jumping back to season 2, right? I was disgusted with Finn when he murdered, it was 18, right? 18 villagers. He went mad, he thought the villagers had taken Clark, and so he just bloody slaughtered them. That was 18. Bellamy and Pike and some of the farm station went out and slaughtered 300 people. I honestly, no words. There are no words to describe that. So we jump back to Clark and Lexa, and they find the field with all these dead bodies in it, and they're just devastated. Like, you can see it on Clark and Lexa's and everyone's faces. Like, it's pure shock. Like, there was no reason for anyone to be dead. The Ice Nation had been stopped. The Ice Queen is dead. They're carrying the Ice Queen on the way. There was no sort of warning for Lexa and Clark and stuff for there to be this massacre. There was no reason for it. We do have Indra still alive though. She's wounded, but she's alive because Bellamy left her alive to leave a message to Lexa. The message was, Sky Crew rejects the coalition. The grounders can leave or they can die. Like, I know the whole thing with Bellamy leaving Indra's life spare, like letting her live, was supposed to be some kind gesture, but it was just gross. It's still gross. I can't. I'm really, really disgusted with Bellamy. I was really liking him. Like, I hated him season 1. He was an annoying little douche. And then he started to redeem himself in season 2. There's no fucking way. Like, there's no way I can like him again after this. It's just, ugh. So at this point, I feel like this is where Lexa decided to follow her heart instead of her head. So Clark wants to fix things, right? She wants to fix things, obviously, because shit has happened and she wants it to work out with the Grounders, right? She wants there to be peace. She wants the 13 clans, you know, including the Sky Crew, to live as one and to not have some bullshit war happen. So she wants to go to Arcadia to try and set things straight, to see what the fuck's going on. But Lexa won't let her at first because, I mean, technically she is the enemy at this point. She is the great warrior, the great one hater of the Sky Crew. So she is a big figure for the Sky Crew, and the Sky Crew have just massacred 300 people. And so there's no reason for Lexa to let Clark go, to Arcadia, to her home, to try and sort things out. There's no reason for her to trust her. There's no reason for her to let her do that. But she does. She lets Clark She lets Clark sort of get in contact with Kane through Indra, through the walkie-talkie that they had. But yeah, I think that's like one of the first times that Lexa really truly followed her heart over her head. Yeah. Like this decision right here wasn't a stupid decision. Not at all. Like if Clark can figure it out to create peace once again, then that's like what everyone wants. That's what Lexa wants. That's what Clark wants. That's what is being fought for. So it's not a stupid decision, but I think, you know, if it was any other commander, it would just straight away be blood needs blood. Blood must have blood. And there would be no, maybe I can save this. All right, let's see if we can do this. It would just be straight in, take them out. But Lexa has still got hope for Clark and the Sky Crew. Man, can I just say, Kane is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters. I love Kane so much, and I love him with everyone. First, it was like Kane and Indra, that was my bro TP, and now it's totally Kane and Octavia, that's my bro TP. Man, Kane is really, really becoming one of my favorite characters. I love him so much. What I would really like to see as well is like some Kane Lexa screen time. I think they could have like a cool conversation going, don't you think? Like they could, yeah, I would like those two together. Just have some nice chats, some interesting storytelling. I think they could share some interesting stories between each other and have a nice drink and watch Polis go by as they share war stories. I love Kane, man. And so he's helping Octavia. He's obviously gotten the message from Indra. He's helping Octavia break out to try and figure out what the hell is happening, because he knows he can't make a move because eyes are on him. Man, but I do love Kane. So jumping over to, we're going back to Bellamy, and he was in like a meeting with Pike and some of the farm station, I'm assuming, and then he heads out after Pike bullshits his way through another. I hate Pike so much. Bellamy is pissing me off so much as well, and I don't, like I said, I don't think I could ever like his character now. He just makes me sick to the stomach now. So he goes out and runs into Kane and Lincoln, and decides to make up some another bullshit excuse as to why murdering 300 innocent people was a great idea. Because, you know, the difference between the Tree Crew and Asgator isn't a thing. You know, Tree Crew murdered some of his friends as well. Fucking get over yourself, Bellamy! He made me really mad. I'm not even gonna lie. He was making Lincoln pretty freaking mad as well. And I was definitely feeling Lincoln, man. And I'm also fucking terrified for Lincoln. I just hate Bellamy so much right now. Literally two episodes ago, I was so on board the Bellamy train. I was a big fan of Bellamy. I thought he was being real cute with his protectiveness of his people. But now he's just like, he's gone insane. He's literally gone insane. He's absolutely delusional. Absolutely delusional. We get Raven back finally, Raven is back with us. Unfortunately, she's still not in a great spot. Raven just, so she is still suffering heavily physically. So her leg / her hip are just causing her huge amounts of pain, discomfort, and like she can no longer hide it. She's limping, and she's not walking like she used to. Physically, you can see she's in a lot of pain, but she's also emotionally in a lot of pain because, you know, I think she's struggling very much with the fact that she doesn't know what she is useful in anymore. She doesn't feel useful. She doesn't feel like she can help out anymore. And she is definitely not the kind of person that's just gonna sit back and do nothing. She needs to be doing something and helping in some way, and I don't think she's finding her purpose as of yet. So Raven's sad, makes me sad. Oh, this was an emotional episode, guys. Emotional episode. Now this next scene, was like this fucking hit me like so hard, this scene. We got Jahar returning back to Arcadia, and he's got his grounder friend with him. This scene, yeah. So they head up to Arcadia, returning to Arcadia, and obviously they get stopped at the front gates, and the guards got their weapons drawn to the grounder because all grounders are fucking evil. Anyway, so they're trying to take the bag off this grounder. We all know that these guys are psycho for the City of Light, so he's protecting it at any means. He's, you know, jumping for it. And Sean, I believe his name is, from Farm Station, decides to fucking shoot him. Shoot and kill him. And what really hit me was what he said afterwards when he jumped up after he shot the guy. The first thing out of his mouth was, he was going for my gun. Now that hit hard big time because this is something that is happening like right now in this world. It's not some, you know, mythical fantasy fictional world where this happens. Like, it's fucking happening here. Right now in this world, you know, people are getting shot for literally no reason. So I have to give a big kudos to the writers and Jason and that for making this like relatable, this story relatable to nowadays. Like it's fucked, mate. But Jahar is not concerned because death is not the end, apparently, what he says to Abby. Now that's throwing a bit back to Clexa when she was talking about reincarnation. Back when they were getting attacked by that gorilla, she said, "Don't worry, Clark. Death is not the end." What? So we sort of get some interaction with Jahar and the Sky Crew. So he's interacting with Abby. Abby thinks he's crazy because of the City Light. Obviously, Kane is, once he gets introduced to the idea of the City Light, thinks Jahar's crazy as well. And then Chancellor Pike. No, I'm not fucking calling him Chancellor Pike because Pike does not deserve that title. Anyway, Pike also, I reckon, thinks he's crazy because of this whole City of Light thing. So I think everyone is writing him off as he's just going crazy out in the wilderness. And I feel like that is definitely going to bite everyone in the butt. Jahar is, he's going to mess things up pretty soon, I think. Even though he is crazy, he's going to cause some shit. Him and Ali are just, things are going to go down the drain. So O makes her way to Clexa and Clark, and she sees the field of dead bodies, and she is honestly disgusted as well. You can see it. She's devastated. She definitely sees these people as probably more of a family or more of her people than the Sky Crew. And seeing them all dead like that probably destroyed her. I think this is like, obviously going back to season 2, Clexa was, you know, ready to kill Octavia because she believed Octavia was a threat to the whole sort of mission or whole sort of aim to destroy Mount Weather and to keep peace between the 12 clans at that point. Yeah, She saw Octavia as a threat because she didn't think she was loyal, but I think at this point here, she's actually seeing how loyal Octavia is. And I think, especially between Octavia and Indra, there is just this look that after Octavia looked to Indra, the camera sort of panned over to Lexa, and Lexa was, I think, seeing her in a different light, seeing definitely how loyal she is to her people. Okay, let's talk about this next sort of thing that Lexa says as well. So Clark wants to make her way to Arcadia to try and get to Bellamy so that they can get to Pike and try and fix this whole fuckery. But Lexa doesn't want Clark to go to Arcadia. Why? Because she fears that Clark will get killed the instant she steps foot near Arcadia. Again, Lexa is super concerned for Clark's well-being. Lexa, such a softie. Like Lexa knows that Clark is probably her best bet to try and figure out what is happening with the Sky Crew. There's no one else really that's gonna have a better shot than Clark, but she's nervous for Clark going back because she doesn't want Clark to be hurt. But Octavia manages to convince Lexa that she can sneak her in, and I think Lexa is now trusting Octavia enough to make sure Clark stays safe. So, yay! I'm liking this 3TP that's going on. Like, honestly, we gotta get Raven in there. So, Lexa, Clark, Octavia, Raven, they're my 4TP. Well, not 4TP. They're just my 4 favorite characters. Yeah, buddy. And now Kane's in there. If we can get them, just move them over to a safe area and then all will be fine. Okay, so Bellamy is fucking... we jump over to, like, the sick bay where they're rounding up all the grounders and interning them. I just want to punch Bellamy in the face. Luckily, Lincoln does that for me. Well, he elbows in the face, which is great, after beating the shit out of Sean. Thank God. Man, I'm really feeling Lincoln this episode. He's just... yeah, He's expressing everything that I was feeling at the time, and I'm very grateful for Lincoln. But of course, that gets Lincoln, like, locked up as well. I'm so nervous for Lincoln. Shit's gonna hit the fan. He's gonna get, like, he's mad. And there is a scene in the trailer where he just goes crazy on the Sky Crew peeps, on the Sky Crew, like, guards and stuff like that. But anyway, in this, I think this episode, he's definitely saying that there's... It's not going to be as easy to merge the two worlds as I think he was hoping, and he's starting to have to choose sides. Okay, we're jumping over to the City of Light story again. There's so many stories happening, and I'm so nervous for when they actually just mingle together. They're starting to already, and I'm nervous to where it's going to go, but Jaha's trying to convince the people that the City of Light is this great place and everyone should go there. Raven calls him out on his shit. Go Raven! But we find out that this blue pill / chip / thing is something that you ingest. So you put it in your mouth, you swallow it, or it dissolves, I don't know, but it goes into your body somehow. It would be pretty hard to swallow, I would think. It's a pretty big thing. But yeah, so it's a hallucinogent. Hallucinogent? Is that how you say it? I don't even know. And it's gonna make everyone crazy. It's not like... So yeah, it somehow takes you to the City of Light when you ingest it. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand the City of Light and this whole drug. It's so... Again, we're going back to Bellamy being a fucking bitch. Ah! Can I just say, before we talk about this scene, there was a point in episode 1 where Lincoln and Bellamy were sort of training fighting. It was pretty early on in episode 1. And Bellamy had the upper hand, but Lincoln sort of counteracted and defeated him. And he said that Bellamy had him, but he was too aggressive. And that was like totally foreshadowing Bellamy this season. He's way too aggressive. He doesn't fucking think. He never thinks, ever. Ever. Like, he needs someone to sit there with him and think for him. And when someone's not there to sit by his side and hold his hand and tell him no, he goes and massacres 300 people. I'm a little bit mad if you couldn't tell already. Anyway, again, so Clark this time is trying to convince Bellamy that he's an idiot and he needs to wake up to himself, but still Clark is not able to get through to him. And he is just blaming her for everything because, yeah, he can't take the blame for himself. He has to blame everyone else. Anyway, so he locks Clark up to the chair, handcuffs her, and I really am disliking Bellamy. But thankfully, as Bellamy was sort of escorting Clark to who knows where, probably a prison somewhere, I don't know. Octavia comes to the rescue again. Freaking love Octavia. She's my girl. Lincoln and Octavia just doing all the right things this episode. Love it. So she comes to the rescue, beats down some guard, like badass. And then Belle's like, what the fuck? So Clark just zzz him. And yeah, that wasn't a reenactment. But what's really cool is when Octavia and Clark make it back to Kane and Abby to run away because there is no saving them at this point. There's no changing their minds. They crazy, and they're not even at the City of Light yet. So Octavia mentions to Abby that they came here to get Pike to give them to Clexa. Very similar to, I think, what happened with Finn. You know, blood must have blood, so Finn paid his blood for killing those 18 people. They wanted to do the same with Pike, but Abby mentions that's not how we do things, and Octavia is like, maybe we need to change the way we do things. Foreshadowing, and maybe giving Clark an idea on how to save things. Octavia, turns out, the one with the brains. Alright, jumping over to Murphy and Imori. I don't know how to say her name. So they got some things going on. They're hooking up. They're thieving. Then she wanted to go save her brother. Too late for that. He fucking dead. And then she came back and they're still thieving, but they get caught by Lex's royal guards or whatever. I don't know what they're called. The warriors, Lex's warriors. They're part of Lex's crew. They got the redness and they wanted to lock or destroy Murphy for thieving in the commander's land. But they search through Murphy's things, searchy, and they see this sort of pill / chip / whatever the fuck it is that Jaha gave to Murphy. And it's got that infinity symbol on it. And the guards are like, he has the sacred symbol. Alright, just a heads up right now, this may be a leak or a spoiler. I don't know. I feel like it's not because it was a behind the scenes picture and the writers / producers or whatever tend to post those after the episode is released, which is what I thought it was, but I can't remember who exactly posted it, like what Twitter it was from. So just a heads up if it is a spoiler or a leak. It's in regards to Lex's back tattoo. It's literally just talking about, like, someone posted a picture of Alicia getting like her makeup and dress and tattoos done for that scene when she's like, you know, after the fight and she's in a nightgown and she goes to Clark and you actually see her back tattoo. It's just a behind the scenes picture of that. And you actually get to see like the full tattoo and everything nice and clear. So I want to talk about that real quickly because when I looked at the back tattoo, you can see like on the base of her neck, she's actually got an infinity symbol, which is scaring the crap out of me. So after the guards calling that symbol the sacred symbol and seeing that tattoo on Clexa, like the grounders are connected to the City of Light somehow. I still don't understand the City of Light enough to figure out what the fuck is happening. But if it's a sacred symbol and if Lex is wearing it, and both points where it was mentioned death is not the end, Lexa mentioned that after she had mentioned reincarnation in regards to how they pick the commander it happens in reincarnation, and then she mentioned, you know, death is not the end. I don't know how, but maybe the City of Light has something to do with the commander, reincarnation. I don't know how they find their way to the City of Light, because they don't have technology, and Ally is very much based around technology. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with their blood, that black blood. Maybe. I don't know. You know, that makes sense, because it's only the people with black blood who become commander. And if it's a reincarnation, and if reincarnation has something to do with the City of Light, then maybe only the grounders with the black blood, the night blood, can access the City of Light without that technology, maybe. There are so many maybes in regards to the City of Light and how it's all connected. Who fucking knows? But it's scaring the shit out of me to figure out where it's going. We're going back to the grounders that are in jail. Miller is now a guard for Arcadia, for the Sky Crew. He comes up to the cage. He's like, look out for that one. He doesn't like to be chained up. I was like, Miller, don't you dare. I know your boyfriend is part of the farm station, but don't do it, mate. Don't do it. Come on. You're part of the good guys. Turns out he is part of the good guys. Yeah, Miller. Yeah, Miller. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hopefully he can turn his boyfriend over to the good side as well, and then they can live happily ever after, and I can totally ship them. But if Miller's boyfriend is a dick who is all for killing the grounders, then sorry, Miller, but we gotta find you another bloke. But he gives Lincoln some medicine, and he's helping Lincoln out, which Lincoln was a bit nervous that Miller had joined the other ones, but I think he's glad that he's got another buddy on the inside. It's causing me so much stress. Alright, back to Indra and Lexa. They're waiting for Clark and Octavia, obviously, and Indra expresses her concerns that she doesn't think they will be able to defeat the Sky Crew with their guns unless they use the guns themselves. So if Indra is worried that they won't be able to defeat those guns, that's a big worry, I think. Like that's definitely a factor that Lexa is going to take note of, that they do have superior technology, and they might not have the numbers that the grounders do, but they do have much more superior technology. So Octavia and Clark make their way back. Octavia's out scouting, because she's awesome. And Clark heads back to the tent with Indra and Lexa and tries to convince Lexa not to retaliate, even though she has nothing to offer Lexa in return. So Clark's mission to Arcadia was unsuccessful. She wasn't able to stop the dickheadness. She wasn't able to convince Bellamy. She wasn't able to convince anyone to turn over Pike. And so her last resort is to just ask Lexa not to do this, not to retaliate, not to follow the blood must have blood. Her reasoning being that if we continue blood must have blood, everyone is just going to end up dead. And, you know, fair call. It's probably correct. The good old saying, an eye for an eye makes the world blind. And obviously we know Lexa is all for peace. Like, if she can avoid the death of her people, if she can create peace, I think that's always been her goal. You know, she joined up with the Sky Crew to destroy Mount Weather, to kill a bunch of people in hopes of getting her people back. There was a deal made that kept all of her people safe, and she took it because she wants peace, and to keep her people safe over everything else, even though it did mean betraying Clark, someone that she was in love with, and her people. She still chose peace over, well, the safety of her people over her heart. And Clark now is trying to convince her that if she doesn't retaliate, it's the best thing for everyone. It's gonna save all these lives if she doesn't retaliate. And you know what she fucking does? She agrees. Like, this actually blew my mind. The Grounders have been they've always been, you know, blood must have blood. These people have died, so these people are going to die. They've not been afraid of war whatsoever. So it honestly shocked me when Lexa agreed not to retaliate against the massacre of 300 of her family members. It's an interesting decision to make, and I'm really curious what's to happen next. Like, how does she convince the rest of the 12 clans that it's the right thing to do? How do they stop the Sky Crew from hurting anyone else? Where does it go from here? I was just ready for another war. But Lexa's smart. Lexa's really, really smart. She's proven that time and time again. She's gonna do what she can to stop death. So we'll see where this goes, I guess. Also, even though Indra was she was against the not retaliating, but even Indra herself voiced concerns that they wouldn't be able to defeat the Sky Crew with their technology. So there is a lot of factors that went into Lexa's decision, but I was still really surprised by her decision, and I'm really, really excited to see where that goes, where that decision leads. Because not everyone's going to agree to it, that's for sure. Alright, jump into the last scene of the episode. We got Raven. She's crying in the rain. She's in pain. She doesn't know what to do. Oh, poor baby Raven. She has the pill, or the thing that Jaha gave her. Oh, and she takes it. At first nothing happens, but then she goes to walk away, still upset, and she runs into Ali. Ali says, "Time to get back to work, Raven." Ah! What? Raven, baby. Like, I want her to be happy and not feel pain anymore, but not like this. Not like this. Oh, this is so terrifying. Poor Raven. So that was 305. Honestly, I really loved this episode because of the emotions that it evoked within me. Evoked? I don't even know if that's the right word. But I was just so grossed out and disgusted by the massacre. Like, obviously I've got Clexa feels. Clexa feels have been a thing that's been happening in the last few episodes. But the story with Bellamy is really... I'm enjoying it because it disgusted me so much, you know? It caused such a strong reaction with me that I'm kind of liking that they're taking it this way, even though I really don't like it at all, if that makes any sense. So, next episode, I'm pretty sure I saw a little bit of the promo. We're going to get a whole heap into the drugs, into the City of Light. People are going crazy, and we're going to figure out a lot more to the City of Light, I think. Also, Jasper's going to make his way there, because he's already in Crazyville. Fucking Jesus. Also, just really quickly, at the end, I forgot to mention, on the Raven scene, there was a really awesome song of Monsters and Men, I think, right? I'm starting up a Spotify playlist with, like, season 3 music. There's only 2 songs in there now, because so far it's been pretty much just, like, in-house music that they've used. But I'm going to be adding cool songs that they have on season 3 to it. So if you guys want to go check it out. Literally there's only 2 songs on there right now. But just something to keep in mind if you want to see it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go. Apologies again that this video was late. I got drunk. And I did not spend my weekend being productive at all. But yeah. I'm going to go. Bye.